Okay, let's try this again. So why do you procrastinate? Why do I procrastinate? So it's very interesting to me that one of my major struggles as an academic and as a scholar, as a professor, and as somebody who wants to really help others achieve the goals and dreams they desire, is that I myself struggle with procrastination as well. So I have set up certain parameters, certain particular strategies that actually help me get more done than I've ever done before in my life. Let me try to help you with that as well. Hopefully we can shed some light on this and provide more of that than we do heat. Now, you probably are watching this right now because you're procrastinating from doing the other things you should be doing, which is ironic, right? But hey, such is life. Okay, one of the major things I hear is I don't have time. Really? This is one of the most often used mantras in the Western Hemisphere, or I'm too busy. I'm telling you guys, this is, without some extreme exceptions, generally one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. Because hear me clearly, God has given every single man, woman, and child on this planet since the dawn of mankind till now, exactly 24 hours. No matter how rich you are, no matter how pretty you are, no matter how many influencers you have or likes you have, whatever that is, everyone gets exactly 24 hours and not 1 second more. It's a difference of priorities in our lives. Like I said, there are exceptions, having 5 kids and 3 jobs and a debilitating disease, yada, yada. Those are possible. Now, without those exceptions in play, the vast majority of us have some time to catch up on our shows, to relax a little bit, to watch some sports and have a beer with some friends, whatever it is. Everybody has its lag time, and we need more of that in our lives. And one of the things we can do is understand our psychology, understand the psyche. So the word psychology is a very interesting one because it comes from the Greek word psyche, which is the word for soul. And psychology, specifically modern psychology, is more focused on behavioral dynamics than it is about understanding the soul itself, which is the main process or the impetus that grows and helps us and is who we are, the soul. Now, I am concerned and with Cartesian dualism that seems to tell us that we are just a soul trapped in a body, and or Platonic dualism also says that. I don't believe that. But that's a whole different discussion. I've written extensively on the soul, probably 5 proofs of the soul, etc., on my page. But for now, let's talk about what it is that does not allow me to continue doing and provide for my family in the way I want to provide, and to do the things that are in front of me and get those done well. Okay, let's understand the concept of procrastination itself. The very word procrastinate comes from a word for castrate. Fascinating. It's to cut away those things that are productive and helpful in our lives and replacing them with other things. It's a dangerous thing to do because it's harmful, of course. Castration is, but procrastination is a long-term thing that happens to us. It creates more anxiety, increased stress, also levels of low self-esteem and self-blame because we're not doing the things we're doing. Let me submit to you that it's not your laziness that's the issue, contrary to popular opinion. It's about interest. It's about self-control as well. So one of my favorite authors, J.P. Moreland, in his book, Love God with All Your Mind, astutely said that you will never accomplish anything of lasting significance if you do not learn to do habitually the things you do not want to do. And one of the major principles of maturity in life is sacrifice. Putting aside what you want now for what you want most in the future. So I will do what I do not want to do now so that I can accomplish what I want to do then the most. And I'll be providing you today some guiding principles to help alleviate those procrastination sessions that happen and the demons that come up in that regard. Now, I'm not trying to delineate and to dismiss the reality of the demonic in the world, but I'm just using the word in a metaphorical sense when I say procrastinate or as a form of a demon. Although it can be that in a spiritual sense, because one of the major sins of the soul is a sin of omission, which is not doing that which you're supposed to be doing. So sin is not just doing what you should be doing, it's also not doing that which God has put on your heart to do. Such as helping the lady across the street who really needs your help, or reaching out to that friend of yours that you deeply hurt a few years ago. You know you're supposed to do it, but you don't. You keep putting it off, or the dishes are piling up, or that conversation you need to have. Those are procrastination things as well, not just the ones with your work that you need to get done with. So Francis Sorosis said the following, in his wonderful article that was published in 2015 in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine. The article is called, "Is Procrastination a Vulnerability Factor for Hypertension and Cardiovascular Disease?" Interestingly enough. And he has shown that chronic procrastination has been inclined to lead to these physical ailments in people long-term, such as poor health, high levels of cold and the flu, more serious conditions such as I mentioned, cardiovascular diseases. So let's set aside and understand that procrastination is a common thing in our lives, and we need to be able to deal with it. So our brains are always looking for relative rewards. Our brain is a machine, guys. It craves rewards. It craves serotonin. It craves an ability to be able to enjoy life. And it will do everything it can to minimize its pain and maximize its pleasure, even if it's against your better judgment. So instead of being a tyrant on your brain, a tyrant on your life, a tyrant on your schedule, whipping yourself into shape and getting upset and frustrated when you break away from that tyrant and start doing things like watching cat videos or whatever else you do to alleviate the time and taking a break too long, what you can do is take small breaks. So the old adage is, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one small bite at a time. Although an elephant doesn't taste, I don't know how tasty an elephant is. But the point is, you don't build a pyramid all at once. You build it one brick at a time and one piece of that brick at a time. So when you want to write the book, instead of saying, oh, I have this chapter to write. No, stop. I have this paragraph to write. I have this memo to prepare for court, and it's 45 pages long. Stop. I can only do 2 pages right now, maybe in the next hour. That's all I need, or a half a page. Then stop. And if you have ADHD, like I was diagnosed with many years, for a long time, you can take a break after working for 20 minutes. There's a particular app I recommend called Focus. And I'll put these in the show notes on the bottom, where it goes off every 20 minutes and an alarm goes off. And you can take that 2 or 3 minute break, do what you want to do, watch your cat videos, have some ice cream or whatever it is that brings you pleasure. Hopefully it's ethical. And then come back. The alarm actually goes off again, telling you it's time to work for another 20, 30 minutes. And then you do that. Then you take a break again, and you continue working through that. And it's a very helpful way to engage your mind and to complete more than what you thought you would be completing as you're going through it. So in the case of procrastination, we can find better rewards in avoiding the things that we shouldn't be doing by doing the things that we should be doing when we take a break. For example, if I know that I eat too much chocolate and cakes, what I can do is not put those in the fridge. They're not there. So I can avoid those by getting rid of them in front of me, getting rid of those problems in my sight. So many young men, actually a lot of women, struggle with pornography. So what can you do about that? Well, it's a deeper issue than just cutting off things. The Bible says to cut off, radically amputate, using the term castrate earlier, cut off those things that are seriously causing you to sin. Now, I'm not advocating castration, please, no, or cut off your hand when you steal, if it causes you to steal. These are metaphors that even Jesus used, because if you cut off one hand, you can easily steal with the other. And if you don't have both hands, you can do it in your mind. So it's a metaphor, meaning do what you can radically to cut off those things that are problematic in your life. And one of the things you can do is install filters, install accountability software on your computer. You can do a bunch of things like that. Or reach out to me in a direct message. I have some other strategies and other ways you can avoid these and actually complete the goals and dreams you want to do a little bit later. You can connect with me on that. So in procrastination, if you don't deal with it, you will find something insidious happening. 2 years will go by, then 5 years will go by. Then 10 years will go by, and you realize that the goals and the dreams in your heart are just not getting done. And that does generate self-blame, stress, and ultimately hopelessness. And you don't want to go into a hopeless area of life. That is a very terrible place to be. Rather, reach out to God, submit yourself to Him, and then give yourself over to what He wants you to do by setting up parameters and being wise with your self-control. And I hope what I shared today is a way to help you complete the things you need to get done. So let's stop right now. Go back and go back and do the things you need to get done, and do those little by little. Don't stress yourself out. Give yourself some grace and complete those. As you complete those, give yourself a reward. Don't be so much of a tyrant on yourself. And if there are some areas of your life you still can't seem to overcome, some limiting beliefs that are locking you in and not allowing you to complete these things, and it's a serious chronic problem long term, you need some help. Hey, if you break your leg, you go to the doctor. You need a problem with that fact? Go for it. Reach out. This is what I'm here for. I'm also a life coach in addition to a professor, author, and things of that nature that I love to do. So reach out to me. Maybe we'll set up a session and help you accomplish more than you can imagine that you could. God bless you.